Hello and welcome to the first match of a best of three semifinals of the Gladius 2025 Summer Tournament. We have Dr. Jesus playing Necrons and Colosseum playing Space Marines. This is actually the second remake. The first remake was called by Jesus, and the second remake was because they derped and set the wrong teams. And now we're here. I'm Patulek, and today with me are Thentox, who's gonna say something.
I'm not. That's a lie.
Okay, not Thentox, I guess. And we also have Yurga. Uh,
Hello, everyone.
and here we go. So we have Necron spawning top right on some grass, and he opts to take it. Looks like we'll be, but no,
Oh,
we will not be seeing influence plays. We will be seeing a standard book. Um,
I have a lot of thoughts on these spawns.
let's have
well,
them.
okay. Well, Jesus has. Well, it depends how he's going to scout. He has an interesting ore city top right. It's volcanic. It's on a wall. So it's only like a 20% bonus. But if you get to 2-tile expansion, you can get a 40 on this ore field. And the real test is this desert pipe city, which as Necrons is basically GG. But it's guarded by a gate and a robot, but it's only one robot. And we'll just have to see if he can just force his way through.
He does have
Colosseum,
a backup ore spot that he might opt to take instead. We'll see. But the volcanic, I think, is the better option.
mm. Colosseum is doing something absolutely wild, which is he has moved to tactical marine and seen this wait, doesn't see it right now. He dropped a tower on an ore field, which is obviously his space marine is a good idea, but now he sees an ore field and a grox next to it on rocks, and I don't know whether he dropped his city first, but this is prime real estate right here for space marine city. And
Yeah.
he instead opted to drop it on a firm pool.
That's
And
actually
then,
often the better option because you get limited towers sometimes, right? He doesn't know how much wreck he has on the map, and taking a firm is just a safe bet. You just don't take the tile and you save some time on the crane, which is a-okay. And he also got to drop on the snow that way, so I think it's a fine choice by him.
do you think he needs to go crane to justify this?
No. Why do you say that?
I mean, he could have dropped on the grox, no?
Yeah, but like I said, he doesn't know how much wreck towers he will get. Space Marines will usually prefer to just spam pure wreck towers, meaning rocks and ore. Sometimes they'll take a shard to not have to build an energy before population, but that's about it. And in 1v1 on a tiny map, you just sometimes don't get a lot of wreck towers. So sometimes it actually makes sense to drop on firm, be safe, and
I
save all
mean,
those spots for towers.
he's still very blessed RNG wise. He has 4 rack towers, a shard, a trader, 2 traders. Like, this is very good for him. Both players have good spawns. I think Colosseum probably has a slightly more favored spawn for his faction mode.
Yeah, I agree. They both spawned with something workable, so the spawns are not going to be holding them back, most likely.
Now, if Jesus sees this robot, he may decide, oh, I don't want anything to do with this. I'm not going up here. No, but he sees the desert pipe. He's going to think, I want to see if there's a tomb here.
Yeah,
And I think
he sees
he can see.
the tomb. Sorry, the more experienced players are quite versed in what I'm doing right now, which is like zooming in into the
I'm also
fog
zooming in.
and looking like at the edge of the tiles in the fog to see what's on them. Like as an Necron scouting for tombs, you do that quite often.
Especially on a desert pipe.
Yeah, that's like the dream scenario.
I suspect he's just going to force it. Like, the only problem is trying to deal with an enslaver and a robot pack. But you'll have a relic here as well. And very defensible with cliffs. This is dream city location.
So let me just do a very quick introduction of our third commentator today, Yurga, because he just basically returned from a hiatus. But he's actually one of the oldest Russian players, a very good, very skilled player. And yeah, we're happy to have him. Do you have any thoughts on today's match?
I think you guys are right. SM player has a pretty great spawn. For reacquisition towers is like almost everything you need for this game. I also think he plays his city quite alright. It's 40% tile on rocks near the outpost, and he also gets some research, which is good for both armories and apothecarians, since they all give research. I don't particularly like Necrons starting on grassland, especially with Trader or Skull Outer, but as you pointed out, he has a busted energy tomb and pretty decent ore cities as well. So
And something you might not know is that in the community mod we buffed Grassland for Necron to provide 20% influence. So I've been tinkering around with, like, when I get a start like that, I just open an influence, make some heroes like a Lord and a Cryptek, and grab some scrolls instead of the book, and it works out quite similar timing wise. But I'm assuming Jesus just doesn't want to risk it with build he's not as comfortable with in a competitive match. Or
I
maybe
mean, I had a
he.
game with I
Sorry?
had a game with Jesus where he went for some crazy influence builds where he didn't have any ore spots, so he essentially made his ore city an influence city, banked 1 million influence, and then just prolonged building stuff as long as possible. Built one production in 2 cities, like one barrack, one armory, and then just rapidized everything. And he was like, "I have 20 turns of production, and after that, there's going to be nothing. So we got to win the game right then." We
Yeah,
didn't, but
you can be very flexible like that if you don't get ore, because you can just rapid-rise as you can afford to, instead of like just investing into continuous production via stacking racks. And also you can like just go for like heroes. The Star Lord is not the best thing on the planet, but it's workable. And like instead of investing your resources into units, it can be legit to just invest influence into items and just like do a, so to speak, one-man army. But obviously these builds tend to be a little bit more fiddly than just like doing a standard optimized production build.
we're seeing a mixed build from Color. Interesting. Oh, he decided to tower the trader before the wreck. I presume that's because he just wants slightly more influence upkeep to sustain his ability to produce towers later.
That's an interesting choice, yeah. The 10% influence, what does it actually amount to? Like, it boosts the HQ, which gives you like 6 base influence, so that's like 1.2 influence, not even covering the for the 10% of the Jokero, which doesn't even cover the upkeep of the tower. But it can like prolong, maybe Colosseum like calculated, okay, with this much influence I need blah blah blah. But I doubt it somehow. Would be very sweaty to do that.
I don't play SM very much, if ever, but my impression is that you see the Grox, you see the hour, you put a tower on it, and that's it. Unless you're doing
yeah,
some mean triple hero build.
yeah, I think that's pretty much it. You just spam towers on 20% rack and don't build anything but production. But we will see. I assume Jakira now gives 10% rack as well.
Yes.
All right. Well, still,
It's a decent fallback, but I wouldn't like take it for the influence per se. Maybe if I like built an influence and did a hero building, which I sometimes do for fun, I would go for an early Jokera to like get a little bit of a boost if I felt I didn't need the rack. But we'll see. Maybe Colosseum has his reasons.
Destroy Lord wouldn't be too bad against Space Marine. Like he doesn't hit particularly hard, but he can jump into SM's backline if he goes infantry and like mess up some devastators. And he's very, very tanky.
And Jesus has turned off his core, delaying the production of the Immortal he has queued up. I'm guessing that's because of aligning the timing of the spider. He doesn't want it too early and then to lose the production overflow
Mm.
if he still needs a turn to tag the spider. I'm not sure.
Timing production overflow around settler buildings is very difficult because oftentimes I find when you finish the tech, when you look at the tech tree, it lies to you because it doesn't account for overflow. Or at least I found it's different.
Yeah, but you can calculate it easy enough. Like you just take the science left on the tech you're currently taking.
Wait a second. I think Jesus is going to lose his Necron warriors.
Yeah, he got lucky. The Bastion has no line of sight, right? Oh, it does.
It does.
Oh.
It does have line of sight.
He got super lucky, basically.
Mm.
But he really wants that energy tomb. Like knowing Jesus for quite some time, I imagine that he's having a nerdgasm looking at that tomb right now.
I mean, he's a dedicated man. He really wants this this tomb, and you don't spend 7 years in Jesus Medical School and not learn a thing or two about perseverance and discipline.
Word.
Yeah, he definitely needs this tomb. Otherwise, he won't have any energy later.
Yeah, he would have to settle the middle of the map for the desert, basically, and he doesn't want to do that versus SM. Especially
Yeah,
after opening book.
Oh my god, he's going straight past these two packs. He does not care.
Yeah, that he's a man with a plan. He knows what he wants, and he's going for it.
I imagine with Necron healing, you could take a robot with a city and 2 Necron warriors. 5.2, oh, Necron warriors, man. Gal's weapons are busted.
Yeah, but Necron warriors overall are just not a good unit to produce with the alternatives you have. They're too flimsy. That's basically their issue.
How many tier 0 units do 5.2 to a robot? That's crazy.
Yeah, that's true. Gauss is very good. It's just the chassis, the HP and the armor is... it's not a reliable unit to have in mid-game.
Connor going for 1 Apothecarian and focusing armories. What do you think the logic is of going intercessors with vehicles? Just to screen them?
It's a very self-sufficient, very tanky unit. It requires very little tech. He just needs basically the nades to be effective, which are tier 1 and tier 2. And it's very good screening for your vehicles.
Do the grenades compete with anything important in the vehicle path?
Maybe Yurga can share his impression. I believe he tried them out for the first time in a 1 versus 1 today.
Yeah, I'm not sure why you will be making intercessors against Necrons, since they have snipers and heavy destroyers and they want to make both of those units. And they are both pretty good versus intercessors. They are very good versus their normal infantry as well, so it's like just a tough matchup, I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
Jesus.
if he tries to fight heavy destroyers and raids and praetorians with those intercessors, it's gonna be sad to watch. But maybe he does plan to switch into devastators. Those would probably be quite effective versus some of the units.
Jesus is also going for heroes and vehicles. Jesus does like mixed Necron builds. I find he often gets 1 temple just for the Triarch Stalker, because the Triarch Stalker gives you big DPS boosts from range 3. It's one of the only things that is range 3 apart from Dumarks, and it will like buff the damage of all the infantry, which is generally the preferred Necron unit path.
Yeah, to bring again Yurga up to speed, the Stalker is range 3 in the mod. And it's a very good unit now.
Yeah, I mean, you do need range 3 as a Necron.
Yeah, but like people were crying because I mean, crying is a derogative term, but we put Mono to tier 8 and it was a huge controversy, and people were like saying that they cannot deal with armor as Necron now that Mono is tier 8 because rushing Mono was the predominant threat at some point. And us buffing Stalker was a response to that, more or less. Like
a tasty treat.
Alright, I'm certainly out of practice, but like, we already have heavy destroyers. Do we need anything else?
Apparently.
Yeah, I mean, I think people played a lot of 3 versus 3 games, and they were up against a lot of strategies like Lemons and like high tier units. And Necron does have an issue with their infantry line and actually also their vehicle line to efficiently fight those units. But you know, It's apples and
Yeah,
oranges.
we're mostly ranged factions, so of course Lemon Ras will be hard to deal with, but we still have like those new melee units. And
The score packs.
yeah, and Praetorians. Like I'm not sure why. Like we have to rely on Mono, but Mono certainly was like a Necron win button.
Yes, it's
Well,
it's basically a win condition for some matchups, because some factions, when you rush a mono, just simply cannot deal with it. And you also get some arcs and some scarabs to defend, and Necron is quite good at defending. So it was quite a scary strategy to face, and in my opinion, unhealthy, because of the fact that it out-won some matchups.
and Yurga, if you'd like to know the reasoning behind it, there's about 2,000 Discord messages you can trawl through when you
Yeah,
have a spare 5 minutes.
let's maybe steer away from like being too opinionated about it. My intention was just to bring you up to speed.
Yeah, 200 messages or like 2000.
Yes.
Sounds like too much to read
Oh,
during this game.
just to drag us back to the game.
Yeah.
Jesus is very, very pushed out. He hasn't cleared that much. He has the whole southern portion of the map to clear. He's already in contact with SM, and he knows that with SM, the longer he waits, the better. So he may opt to just back out here, but it's
Yeah,
early contact with SM is a bit dicey.
he knows the matchup quite well. We recently did some test games. I was playing the Space Marine, so I think he's quite prepared for the matchup.
Will they still be playing on simultaneous turns?
I don't know. Nobody called it, so it seems they prefer it this way for some reason.
Calling sims on contact isn't common practice in the current meta.
I mean, some players do it, some players don't. I wouldn't.
Yeah, I mean, but like Jesus took Overwatch of tactical Space Marines before they could move, so he effectively blocked him from moving.
Yeah,
That's kind of like a strat. It's like a strategy nowadays.
Oh,
Thing.
all right.
I mean,
so
it's a very bad manner strategy, but it does tend to happen on accident sometimes as well.
Yeah, I don't think it was Jinx's intention. I think he just wanted the shard.
Yeah, people tend to abuse Sim a little bit, but there's nothing we can do. Can't police people for that. I also opted not to set rules for that. It would get too complicated, I think. Okay, and Sim off is called.
I mean, Colo is going to have a rough time pushing this Energy City. There's Bastion and the rivers and the cover.
I mean, Jesus still has to deal with those robots, so it could be awkward, but on the other hand, I don't think Colosseum is ready to push in quite yet. He probably just wants to deny the map and have the opportunity to pick off some units open if Jesus makes mistakes.
Is he actually surrendering? Wow.
He does.
What?
Well, that was fun.
That was interesting.
He wants to play Dawn of War with me, that's why.
Yeah, I think the reason is his warriors being trapped by Space Marines.
I mean, could he not just play it out and see?
He could like saved one, but losing a unit.
Oh yes.
It's
Yeah,
like it's not good.
I don't know. I think he could have played this out.
Yeah, I mean, he could have tried, but it's like a very demoralizing situation.
I think
Mhm.
if I'm being honest, I think the going like extreme left and not clearing into any other direction was an interesting choice. So maybe he just got a little bit too into that and realized that that wasn't that smart. Who knows?
He
But
also is I think he's a touch rusty. Like we've been playing Dawn of War for like 2 weeks.
I mean, he played Gladius like almost every day for the last couple of months. But it does like happen to even to the best. Everyone can get a brain fart or some bad luck.
Are they doing the same matchup or are they repicking?
They do the bans and picks again. I'm not. I'm gonna just do one video for the previous game and the next one. I don't think there's any point in splitting it off.
Yeah, what was a quick one?
Yeah. But Jesus is still in since it's a best of 3. Where is he though?
Oh, it's the same code.
Okay, I'm gonna do a. Okay, he's here, so I'm not. Never mind. Okay, let's see what happens this time. Hopefully, something a little bit less dramatic for Necron. And
They
Necron
get
right off the
another.
bat, like look at that
Oh.
sonic boom. Man, it has pipes. It has desert pipes actually. It
Oh
has an
my
ore
god.
and it has snow. Like what more can you ask for?
Busted. They get Rees, right? Again?
Yes, they do.
No.
And Jesus is gonna be
Oh
sad
no.
about that.
Oh.
But such is life.
Oh
I don't think
no.
he was, that said he didn't have any good cities other than that first one.
Yeah, it's quite possible that it was all condensed into one mega city. He could go, I don't know, triple crane and pre-build 1,000 pops maybe, but the code should be the same.
And I stole his spot again.
Give him a color.
So yeah, in competitive Gladius, calling for remakes is quite common.
Oh well, the sun start looks rough.
Yeah, that's not great. It's a jungle.
I mean, let's look at Jesus' city spots. We have here.
I mean, Colosseum could still, like from his perspective, get salvation via just moving his units into an open space, but we know that there is no such open space. Not really. So
Where would
this
you settle as SM in this position?
Jesus
Just
on
Roxville?
Jesus on the other hand gets a pretty solid main again.
And he has two desert-ish cities with an ore field. Like, would you make the right-hand city your power and the left-hand city your ore? I guess you can just mix and match, right?
I mean, you can just turn your main into an ore city in this scenario. You just make a core or two, and then you make ores.
He has another city on the right in the Arctic.
Yeah,
Oh, it's very far away though. I doubt he's gonna see that.
and he has some range 2 energy. Not the best, but it's workable. Or he could go here.
He's probably gonna see the left one
Oh,
first
actually,
as a ball.
what am I saying? He has a desert. Never mind.
Yeah. I mean, he's probably gonna go left to get to grab the Vault early, right? And then he'll probably see the Ore City or Desert City.
Yeah, most likely. It's very important to grab that science outpost as soon as possible. So he does do that. Sees an ore, sees a tomb next to it. Let's see if he gets tunnel visioned like the first game.
Colosseum call for the right? Yeah. So
Yes.
he's stuck with this.
Colosseum is stuck in the jungle, and I don't think Jesus will call for a remake this game.
It would be funny if he did though.
I mean, Colosseum would be probably positively amused, yeah.
Now, what can you go for here? I guess you can do some hero memery. But...
Interesting choice of drop by Colosseum. Is he gonna go for some hero play, perhaps?
He has, well, I mean, he has one requisition outpost around him. This is rough.
Yeah, that's like the toughest part.
Yeah, he got shafted.
Where would you have settled in this situation? On the shard?
Well, yeah, shard looks fine, but I guess with influence he can like try orbital bombardment or something.
I mean, he's gonna open with a rack, probably thinking about, okay, my rack situation looks tough, so I'd better be careful here. And he's gonna delay his production in favor of a buffer of rack in his bank. Which is honestly a smart play, in my opinion. I personally wouldn't have dropped on the altar. I would have preferred the fermentation, even if the 40% tile was blocked by dogs. I would have just, I don't know, dropped here. Could maybe do a book on the 10% Tundra. But he did opt to go for the altar. We'll see what he does with it. I'm gonna have to AFK for a minute. Be right back.
Alright.
So yeah, what do you think is the ideal compositions for both sides against each other? Is there some vehicle good into neck? Is there some infantry good into neck? Like, what are your thoughts?
Well, I haven't seen all Primaris units, so I will not know. But against Necron, I think it's like pretty tough since they have heavy infantry and vehicles. Unless they have some kind of Primaris anti-vehicle units, I think it's tough because Devastators only do well against vehicles. They pretty much have nothing to deal with infantry.
Well, the intercessors have double the grenades, which is useful. The ATVs on the vehicles are pretty good against infantry, even reasonably heavy armored ones. The aggressors have a flamer and a power fist, but they are two model. The Primaris infantry is quite squishy, but hits extremely hard.
I think aggressor is a pretty good option for their infantry line against Necron.
Why against Necron specifically?
Because they tend to do well against elite infantry, so to speak. They're not really elite infantry until Praetorians, but they do well against more high armor units. Probably because I think their melee attack has high armor penetration.
And it's twin linked, so it suffers fewer accuracy penalties.
Yeah, so they just tend to do well. They just tend to trade well, even if they're a bit on the squishy side. And I think Terminators are pretty good into Necron. Like, Necron has ways to counter them, but not to like outright blast them like some factions can. And yeah, bringing Yurga up to speed again, Terminators are tier 6 in the mod.
Oh,
Yeah,
were we
44.
like tier 7 previously?
Yes, but they're quite shit in the power creep meta nowadays. They don't compare to tier 7 units.
Oh my god. Is Colo gonna lose his Tac Marine? What time does he get his second tower? Can he shove it in there?
Well, at least he found that Grox.
I'm not actually at the PC, so I can't comment.
Basically, he puts his tactical marine on the Grox posture near his base, and he's currently getting some diplomacy from the Gene Stealer cults.
Do let us know.
Damn, they forgave him. Oh, that's nice. So, is book energy barracks like a normal Necron opening nowadays?
Yes.
So there's like
You guys
nothing to look at. Yeah, it's not very good, but some words come through.
so positive affirmation to your question.
All
It is
right.
quite common.
Yeah, so we can see he researched hyperstyle temple. I guess we're seeing those range-free stalkers if he don't resign.
He likes to do the mix in immortals and heavy destroyers because stalkers do buff only ranged units.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Snipers also work with them, I suppose.
Yeah, another range-free unit.
Yeah.
Do you really needed to buff stalkers, man?
No, it was a crowd pleaser change. People were like very pissed off about the mob change, and we had to placate them, basically. Mob rule.
Damn.
Wait, the Colosseum lost his tactical marine?
I'm not sure. I'll be back soon, but not quite yet.
Yeah, he actually lost it.
Such.
Yeah, he even survived for a turn. But I guess he didn't run him away.
Jesus is clearing in two directions now. He sees the city spot he'll probably take, and now he's like, okay, well, I should clear everything else on the other side, and then build towards that. Opting for a Necron warrior over an immortal, I assume to save costs.
Dark cost logistics. He probably wants to make the spider right after.
Yeah, aligning production costs. He's also making a second summoning core this time. I guess he feels good about his Orc situation this time.
Yeah, I guess he's on the your field, so.
Okay, so I'm back. Let's have a peek. What's happening? Koala seems to be going for a mixed build again, but
he lost his tactical marine.
He did open with an armory, which might seem to imply to me that he's gonna focus heavier, lean into the infantry side, as opposed to the vehicle side. Or it could be just logistics because he felt he needed to open the rack. We'll see.
So as in, if you're going one armory and the rest infantry, you would start with the vehicle just to get the stuff you need on the field, the Razorbacks.
I mean, I guess it depends, because you do need to take armory first. If you're going like support infantry into armories, you just do an apothecarium first because you do not have the tech on turn 1 and you do not actually need to open the rack in both situations. But yeah, I'm not sure. I think I spoke too soon. It could be anything at this point.
Yeah, do you guys, there's a big difference between going Apothecarian first or Refectory first? Like if you're going to add Refectory sometime after that anyway.
I mean, we used to call a refactory into 4 armories, sorry. The Beetlejuice build, because there was this player, Beetlejuice. I don't think, do any of you know him, remember him?
Oh man, well, I remember him.
The
I'm
wife
too
beating,
young.
he used to joke about beating his wife. That was like the funniest thing ever to him.
Did he beat other players in the game at least?
He was mid, honestly. He was a
Damn,
fun guy, but he spammed one faction, one build. He opened rack every single game and went into bikes, into predators, into dreadnoughts. And it like opening rack does let you go for the 4 early armories before pop and like just spam all game long. But I find you tend to have too much bank when you open a rack, and which seems to imply that it's ineffective. Haven't actually reached a point where I opened rack as Space Marine where I would run out of money. So
Yeah, that's because you don't build enough production.
yeah,
You see, like for armories, it's a Beetlejuice build, but if you turn off the crane after building your fifth armory or even sixth, it's a Yurga build.
what I've been liking lately is since like when you make a pop, you don't keep the production doesn't keep up with the growth. I've been doing like an extra building over the limit before doing pop lately.
Yeah, you see, that's your problem. You're building a pop building. Why would you do that? Your starting city can support like 6 armories.
I mean, it's very low opportunity cost as SM, in my opinion.
Yeah, but like 6 armories, bro. You said you bank too many rack. Just make more production.
I guess I'm too scared of getting bankrupt and being called a noob. I don't know.
It's
I mean,
Gladius.
soon we'll see Pasul building pop on Tau, and then we'll know he's truly lost his mind.
Sorry, I didn't catch the first part.
I was saying, soon we'll see you building pop on Tau, and we'll know you've truly lost your mind.
Yeah. Like when that happens, like just tell me, just retire me.
Yeah,
Forcefully.
yeah. Just unplug the life support machine.
I mean, I guess in like some glitch threads you could justify making pop, but like I think people play Tau all wrong nowadays.
I agree.
There's a lot of misinformed opinions flying around.
It's got to the point now where when people say it, I'm just like, I just don't want to know, because I'm going to get so triggered by this falsehood that it's just going to ruin my day, and I can't be bothered.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but the main thing that the main fallacy is people think that you need to stack production as Tau. They somehow seem to think that like splitting up production between cities is slower, but it's like literally the same amount of production buildings with extra loyalty, which means it's actually more effective. It's actually more units. You just have to not be a noob. You have to like plan for the waves of units and play around it. It's really not that hard.
I think it's a combination of like people thinking faction descriptions are kind of just a fun gimmick rather than a core mechanic, and just people being impatient. They're like, oh, I can't be bothered to wait 10 turns for a hammerhead. I'm like, why?
I think
Like,
I think it's people just net decking builds instead of like sitting down and figuring it out for themselves. I don't know.
But why would you net deck a bad build?
Because there were no good players for a time playing Tau, I believe.
now there are 3.
Yeah, I mean, like who was a good Tau back in the day? Like I used to play a pretty good Tau. Deimos
Exorcist
plays a good Tau. Exorcist plays a good Tau. Like out of those, only me and Deimos are active, and we weren't active for a long time.
Yeah, like you named 3 players and and say 2 of them are still playing.
Yeah, but like in between there was like a year or maybe even more of just the Wild West, like people playing 3 versus 3 with retarded builds, no vets playing. And
yeah, I mean 3 versus 3 you are allowed to play retarded builds.
Yeah.
I played 3v3 first for like a good year. Then I was like trying 1v1 standards, and within 2 weeks I was like ready to uninstall because I was like, I know nothing about this game. I was like every little cute thing I was doing was just ripped up and exposed to me, like this is screwing you over. And then I was just like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I go back to the fast speed just for the memes. Like sometimes I want to build battle suits. Like You know?
At least they are fun. Like I've seen you got pretty fine in the 2v2 tournament. I think you are in a team with Jonathan.
Yes, we've won every
Yeah.
game.
Yeah, that sounds like you're quite a good player.
Oh, you flatter me. I mean, there's like 4 good teams in there. Most of them have been noob stomps, if I'm honest, but like fun. And it's
Yeah.
interesting because after the game ends, they're like, "Oh, what could we have done differently?" And it's like it's very good natured. I find usually when I come across new players that they're very difficult to like teach because they're very kind of egocentric, defensive. They overestimate their ability a lot. And instead of when they lose, they don't think, "Oh, what could I learn here? What could I do differently?" It's more like just crying about overpowered or nonsense. Like I remember I was teaching. Well, I had a game with a new player. He was playing Tyrannid, and he accused me of rushing him with Tau. He said I was doing a tank Tau rush, and it was like I declared war on him at like turn 50 because he built 3 books as Tyrannid and tried to do Carnifexes with that.
Yeah,
like,
but
okay.
like he wasn't wrong. You did rush him with tanks. That's like a common Tau strategy. You just build those broken tanks of Tau, Skyrays, Hammerheads. You can't beat
They're
this
not
shit.
Yurga. You're behind time, Gramps.
Bro, what are you talking? I didn't recognize this assessment.
They're not broken anymore. Tau is not broken. If Tau is weak, considered weak nowadays, and for good reason actually. Even if like even the good players like I saw Deimos like just flat out completely lose to Forge Fiends, which was not a thing back in the day. Tau just
What
has
was he?
like
What do you mean it wasn't a thing back in the day? Like what changed? What did you change? How did you break the game with your community mod?
No, Proxy broke the game.
the DLC. Every DLC is more and more power creeped.
Yeah, but
It
like
became
Forge
like
Fiends and Hammerheads, it's like it's not a DLC units to me.
yeah, people don't want to nerf Forge Fiends. We nerfed them -2 armor penetration, and now people like every time Chaos is debated, they moan like, "Poor Chaos, it's been nerfed to the ground, and you want to nerf it more." So it's you know
Yeah, guys, I'm not buying
it's a
your
compromise
stories
mod.
about Victau.
Well, prove everyone wrong. I think that's the most productive thing to say right now.
I've grown to like hammerheads more because I never used to build them, but I'm starting to revert, and I'm kind of more of a fan of keels now, just because they buff the AP on the overcharge, and it absolutely shreds heavy infantry now.
Yeah, heavy infantry is a weakness of Tau, but maybe we should refocus a little bit on the game.
No, I want to talk about Tau.
Yeah, I mean, what do you want to refocus on?
Well, he settled. He didn't settle on the left one. I guess it's too exposed. But what's he gonna? Is he just building production in the
I
secondary?
think. Oh wait, what the hell is that? Did he settle shard now?
He settled the
I
shard.
think
That's crazy.
I think he's making his main the Ore City and just focusing production. Then
Yeah, the shard is gonna be the production city, and the main is gonna be converted to war. I play it exactly the same way when I get this situation.
do you think he's gonna turn off his cores in the main when he gets to the pop cap? He just
no,
got
it's just
2
gonna
for
be
the.
pumping from 2, and the shard city can help out with whatever is needed. It has some desert nearby, it has some rocks. The shard boosts both, so it's decent city. It even has some loyalty nearby. So actually, a pretty good spot for a production city.
Man, the Immortals audio cue gives me nightmares.
It does.
It's such an aggressive sound. It's like if you play Orks and you turn the animation speed down to 50%, like stuff like the Daka Jet, it sounds like a machine gun, and at 100% it just sounds like your ears are being assaulted.
I mean, I get nightmares from orc attack sounds because it just never ends. It's just like
It's just like
you do your 10 moves and you press enter and then it's like ka-chung, 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 into infinity.
yeah, and suddenly you see white light, and then you appear in the lobby, and you're like, what happened?
Yeah. And then you're reborn as a filthy orc yourself.
Yeah.
I just like to point out that Colosseum named his fortress damn camera. I don't know how to pronounce it actually. I think it's some
Fowow.
cute anime
Fowow.
sounds that I cannot make with my Eastern Slavic mouth.
Fowaltrus, I'll love the Malta.
You're British, you also can do it, I think.
Well,
You're
I
from,
won't even try.
Fowaltrus.
I won't even try. Don't ask.
I mean, that's what I was
We-
leading
we
up
have-
to, you know.
Yeah, we have enough cute anime girls like ponies and other stuff in the Discord.
Dunno.
But I agree with Immortal sound, except I think it's cute. I want
So,
to spam Immortals just to zap dogs. It's like,
So, Yurga, did you come back from the hiatus set this week?
yeah, it was literally this week. I was watching some Dove casts since like Definitive Edition came out. I thought it will be reborn and I will have something interesting to watch. And like on Definitive Edition release tournament from one Russian streamer, I was looking at his screen between games and I was thinking like, what the heck? This picture looks eerie familiar, and like I look at it and realize like it's fucking WoW Ruins. It's Gladius main menu back screen, and that's why I'm back.
So, when was the last time you played? Was it before Drakari came out?
Yeah, I think it was before Primaris came out.
I think it was Vatmod times when people actually played Vatmod still, right?
Yeah, something like this. I wanted to joke it was when I made my mod. But nobody knows when I did this. Yeah, but basically, yes, like 2 or 3 DLCs ago.
You also did the scout. What's it called again? Wall
Yeah,
scout.
the wall scouting device.
Yeah,
People are trying to bring that back. Tassos is very keen on introducing it back into the game.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really get why you won't use it.
I just have PTSD from art mod times where people like they did their own version that gave like flying moves.
Yeah,
3 times.
art mod version is like something else since it was made specifically for art mod. They like have completely different game from normal Gladius.
Yeah, it's basically a different game. Yeah, to the point of new units, multiple new units perfection. But you know, back in the day, at some point it was the only thing that was played by like 10 to 20 tenacious players. So everyone who played Gladius played art mod.
Oh wait, did we like actually drop the game? We had like different Discord server even.
Sorry, didn't catch that.
Oh, well, I asked like, didn't we all stop playing?
The art mod players, yeah, more or less. I've been seeing some old names like Legion. I think Lost One and VPR are competing in the 2 versus 2 tourney.
Yeah, that was our first match.
Yeah, those two guys probably never played that mod. They are not fans.
Yeah, they probably played Origin, if anything, right?
Yeah, like Exorcist mod.
Oh, I always thought that was a Zuka mod.
Yeah, that's like Juka Exorcist mod. It's like the big thing is like rising price of units. We have like that shtick about T1 units being fixed cost and everything else having rising cost. So
Yeah.
you like won't spam a single type of tank.
I mean, it's like that's the Tau buff we need.
That's also a separate mod that actually had a playgroup that played just with that and vanilla. Like at some point, but I don't think it's good balance-wise because it's some rosters just don't have the depth to avoid spamming 1 or 2 units, and it punishes them more. Like if you look at, for example, to give 2 extreme examples, look at Necron roster and then look at Jukari roster.
Yeah, I mean, like you still get bigger army with bigger economy. You are just punished for having a shitty economy from your shitty spawn. So
It would mean
don't...
we actually have to buff Drakari's mid-game infantry roster. How terrible.
No, we just have to wait for DLC. And I think
Yeah,
there will be more
just
DLC. It brings them too much money not to do it.
I know we're getting at least one more. Because they said they've picked the units for the next DLC.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Whoa. We have like a plan for DLCs. That's like cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I
So-
think we're getting warp spiders. Like my money is definitely on warp spiders.
I mean,
Damn,
we're kind of
not
out of
teleporting
factions,
info.
but there's still a lot of units to add.
yeah.
Some factions, I think I would like to see the Space Marine get a Hammerfall bunker. Like just be able to drop a fortification somewhere, like a tower, but not one that will destroy your economy by doing it. And it's quite a modern unit, and it was in Space Marine 2. Like it would be fun.
Oh.
I think people overwhelmingly want warp spiders for Eldar, so I think that will happen.
Yeah, we need more teleporting infantry.
Yes. I mean, I would like to see Storm Boys, but like they're quite an old school unit, and they tend to focus on giving you units that are like new in that Games Workshop are producing. So
Yeah,
like Squidhog Boys are like quite a newish orc unit.
That's good having a table of expert. We can actually...
Yeah, sorry, go on.
Yeah, we can actually learn about new units beforehand.
Well, the Necron choices are interesting because I think they could get the Lockhurst Heavy Destroyer, which is basically like a single model, or 1-for-3 of like it's just a super heavy destroyer. Or they could get the I can't remember what it's called, but it's like a super death mark. It's I can't remember the name, but it's basically a Necron construct that has like 8 arms, all with like sniper rifles or something. So it's gonna find it.
Yeah,
Sounds
I think, like...
pretty stupid, not gonna lie.
Yeah, I think it sounds cool. We need like a big death mark with 8 sniper rifles. Especially like for the late game. I hope it like has bonus versus big robots. And we can have like mech
called-
fights.
I hope it has a
It's-
bonus against Lemon Rust so people stop whining.
It's called the Hexmark Destroyer, and it's a 6-armed death mark that's part of the Destroyer cult. But it honestly will probably just be Lich Guard or something. They'll act like Sacrosanct.
Yeah, they're probably gonna do the least useful option for the PvP scene, like they always do. I mean, I don't want to be overly negative, but like,
I mean, Primaris Invader looks very useful for PvP.
they're a
It
nightmare.
is. Yeah, they used to be even worse. They shipped with 2 models, and we just got rid of one because it was too oppressive.
Yeah, I played a bit and the model sounds a bit too much. Maybe for like they cost like 60, maybe for 120, like double the cost, double the models.
It was funny broken. It didn't even elicit like a rage reaction when you lost to it. You just sat there defeated, like with no emotion, no thought in you. You were just like, okay. I imagine that's how rape victims feel. I don't know.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Being
that's why
defeated.
your channel has 30 followers. The jokes are too edgy. We need funny ones.
Like I said, I don't really fun. I just want there to be something going on. It's more or less my truth.
True.
In the last DLC, Sisters of Battle and Tau didn't get any units. So I don't know what they're going to do for the next DLC if they're out of ideas. Like Sisters of Battle, I don't think have any units unless they borrow from like maybe they get Arbites or something, or like Inquisitorial troops, like because they are technically part of they're like a sub-faction of the Order Hereticus, right?
I would not know.
Same. What were we talking about? Sub-units? Imperial Guard units?
So Sisters of Battle didn't get a DLC unit in the last DLC.
Oh, yeah. All right. Do we need one?
I mean, it's weird to not give one faction a
Their
unit in a
roster
DLC.
is quite shallow, so like while they are annoyingly overpowered overall, they should get some units.
Have you
But-
seen like those whip boys on T1?
The what?
The guys
the-
with whips.
Oh, the Arcos.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think now that people are playing a bit more standard, you're seeing a lot more like low tier units. Like both me and Dr. Jesus have been experimenting with them, and they're actually not bad in certain matchups. When you like versus Imperial Guards, when you make Sacrosancts and they get one shot by Psychers who bring it down, you're like, why am I investing all these resources in a high armor unit? It's just gonna get one shot anyway, and you just make Arcos. And people started making Sister Repentia again because people thought they were a really, really bad meme unit, and then suddenly, you have a week where somebody just one-shots Praetorians with them, and everybody's like, "Oh, this unit's broken."
Repentia is so
Oh.
broken, man. They even get Melta. Why do they get Melta?
Because reasons.
Man, fuck
Yeah,
Repentia.
we are anti-vehicle. Why won't we get Melta?
Because
I would-
they're already a ridiculously effective cheap unit, and then they get Melta to be effective against literally everything. It's just too much.
I was
In
playing
fact-
Dawn of War again this week, and I think the Seraphim, they get a damage buff ability, and I've noticed their crack grenades do a lot of damage, and I think maybe they're synergizing. So it's not just in Gladius that the Seraphim and the Zephyrim get crazy good bombs.
Well, at least the brokenness is coherent across titles.
Yeah, got to be consistent.
Yeah, consistency is everything.
Yeah.
You're British, you should probably agree with that.
Why is that a British thing?
I don't know, it just sounds British to me. I don't have like a rational explanation.
I don't think the British are known for being consistent. We're known for being like stalwart and
I
rowdy.
mean, it sounds like something like reliable, you know, like
Like
reliable, like clockwork old chap, or I don't know,
I think you're 200 years behind the curve.
probably.
That society doesn't exist
But it's
anymore.
stereotypes. Who cares?
I mean, I would give a Slovenian stereotype, but it's such a non-country, I don't know.
I think the main stereotype, like insider stereotype, is that we are lackeys. Like historically,
Lackey?
we're a very small country. We were historically usually dominated by one guy or another. So
Sounds
there's
hot.
some self-hate going on there as far as national identity is concerned. Sorry, what did you say?
Yeah. There is a joke breeding here, like Slovenian between Russian and British, getting dominated from one side or the other.
I shouldn't have
I
told you
thi-
that.
I think you got dominated pretty well today.
I mean, shall we go look at the historic win-loss ratio in our 1 versus 1s? I don't think
You
it's
seen
that
the-
bad.
Have you seen there's a really good skit by Al Murray? He's a British comedian, and he has an entire skit where he says Britain has won every single war it's been in. And somebody just listed it, and he did like the most mental gymnastics to like, say it.
Damn. Rip but Razorback, I guess. He should,
No,
he should call.
There's still Simon, so it's safe.
He should call Simovs just to drive it back.
I mean, he couldn't really kill it, even if Sim was off.
Yeah, I mean, but he could like outclick him next turn.
Man, Jesus has a lot of ore bank. Jeez.
Yeah, I mean, it does look like he's gonna get squeezed here by Colosseum. Like he has his bottom right corner, and Colosseum is probably gonna be stronger for some time still.
What kind of energy income are you looking for as Necron?
I feel
Damn,
like
you shouldn't ask this thing. These things. It's like it's all about the math. But basically, you just look at the cost of your unit, like rightmost unit, and you want this per turn. Heavy destroyers are 40, so you want 40 per turn. If you have like And of course, you might want, if you can produce 2, like 80. But the point is, you just want as much as you have production.
You also need to account for buildings.
Yeah, for people that do buildings. Yeah, you are not supposed to do those in 1v1.
Every time I see a crane turned on, I die a little inside.
Yeah, I mean, why would you build a population building when you can just slap 2 extra production and
It's
turn off
just
the
one
crane?
extra Rex, like 4 armories, you already, what, like 24 production? Which is, for 31 cost units, it's like almost a unit per turn. So while the extra armory is nifty, its scaling is nifty as well, if you think the game might drag on for some time.
Man, ATV is doing 3.5 to heavy destroyers in cover. Sus.
I don't think. Well, like the only vehicle unit that counters heavy destroyers from SM is like Dreadnought.
Predators?
Vindicators aren't bad to have. Like they don't
Yeah, I
counter
mean,
them
like you
alone,
can shoot like once. Yeah, well, I guess you can use Vindicators as well, but they're high up in tiers.
Predators also tend to do quite well. Like, you don't want to mass them, but having some to take advantage of range-free tiles is often nifty. Has often been nifty for me.
You're nifty, Patul.
Why, thank you. Should I
Yeah.
return the compliment now? Is that how it goes?
I wasn't fishing for it, I don't really care.
Okay.
I mean, nowadays,
I know you think I'm nifty, it's fine. I'm a secure person, obviously.
I wasn't gonna point that out on a live, on a stream, but rather on a video. But
You can get your $5 will be in the mail.
Oh wait, they didn't turn off sim turns.
they did not.
Yeah.
Tawawar, or how do you pronounce that? Tawawar.
Chihuahua.
But it's over, right? It's not over.
I believe it's a subtle Canadian dialect that I'm not privy to.
Oh, right, he's Canadian.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So yeah. What's that tower all about?
I'm not your mate, buddy. South Park reference, man, I'm old. And it's the early seasons. Does anyone watch South Park anymore? Like,
It's fast achieving boomer status, I think. They did a Warhammer episode fairly recently, actually.
of course they did.
Apparently it wasn't that good compared to like the World of Warcraft one. The World of Warcraft one is like such a childhood classic for me.
Yeah, it's a great
What
one.
an absolute legendary episode. As is the global warming one.
I mean, it's not so funny to watch when you're 30 years old, but back then it was like hilarious.
Oh, it's so good. It's like how Family Guy was like peak comedy in 2006 or whatever, or 2008. And now it's kind of like a kind of, if you're a super into Family Guy, it's kind of like a low status, like low brow thing.
Yeah. Family Guy used to be good, but I think it's also an age thing, you know, humor changes with time.
Now everything is irony and doomerism. Thanks, Gen Z.
But yeah, not a lot to say about the game right now. We would expect Colosseum to call for sim off and try to do some kind of early push because we are on turn 40.
Well, I don't know about early pushes. He have seen heavy destroyers and he basically has nothing to counter them. Like,
Yeah, but it's usually a safe bet to assume that the Necron built a book and your SM, you did not build a book.
yeah, you should be making a counter to heavy destroyers anyway, which is like not the thing that he did. You need like scout snipers or something.
I mean, I think
Otherwise,
Preds and Dreads are gonna do good. I guess maybe that's why he's backing off, yeah. He wants those Predators, he wants those Dreadnoughts for the heavy
well,
destroyers. But
that will take a while still.
he could just use like the number advantage. What are the upkeeps right now? The Space Marine has 26, which is okay for turn 40. Maybe a little bit on the low side, but not by much, probably the consequence of that rack opener. And the Necron has 19 upkeep. So while the Space Marine army is larger, it is not like significantly so. I mean, I guess it is. You could call it significant. It's like a 30% difference at least. But yeah.
Well, on one hand, Necron has 3 or 4 units stuck in the top right corner, which won't help him in the fight. But on the other hand, Space Marine really can't push those destroyers. Like, he doesn't deal damage to them.
Yeah, I mean, he can use the numbers advantage, but in the long run, I guess he's just attritioning himself to get a couple of picks, so maybe that's not the wisest thing to do.
I don't even think he can pick them off in this forest. There is not enough tiles to shoot them.
Yeah, at this point we have 4 heavy destroyers sitting in the forest, which is a scary proposition for his current army, but like, back when he actually met him, that was not the case.
Yeah, which is why it was strange for him to not call sim turns off.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not a super huge deal, right? We're not close to SM falling off to the point of not being able to win.
Well, I won't be so sure. Like,
Why
we
not?
will see. Because he won't scale as well. He has like hyper limit on the amount of army he can produce.
Yeah, but like when he gets the Praetorians and starts spamming those, the SM tends to get Vindicators, so that's still a fair match. In my experience, it starts to get tough after that, because after Vindicators, basically the only thing you can do is start adding up infantry barracks and like branch off into Terminators or something like that.
What about Primaris Redemptor Dreadnoughts?
Yeah, but like on notebook Space Marine that takes forever, especially on standard speed. Like you can get to Vindicators relatively fast even with notebook, but after that it becomes like a real slog to get anything new, unless you're backtacking infantry. But like that's my experience.
Man, ATV's not trading well into heavy destroyers. I'm surprised.
Yeah, I mean they are quite low armor penetration. They don't tend to do well against armor 9 units.
I don't know. When I play Drakari, I see an ATV, I just want to surrender.
Yeah, but you don't actually have an armor 9 unit, do you?
Probably not, no. Who needs armor when everything is dead?
Yeah, I mean the best way to play Drakari is still witches.
Yeah.
And
actually,
ATVs
it's mandrakes. You spam mandrakes, you build an archon. And then in mid game you improvise.
Your voice changed slightly. Is that because you were mocking something, or
yes?
Okay.
I was mocking.
I mean, mandrakes are a good unit, but I think witches are better. Like even in 3 versus 3, like okay, they can teleport, but witches can go into transports and teleport and.
I know. Anytime I skip witches, I just feel I'm completely hamstrung. Mandrake's just is so difficult to transition out of. Like if you're versus vehicle, like sure you get scourges. Scourges are expensive, and mandrakes don't do shit to vehicles.
Yeah.
You really feel the lack of haywire when you have a full vehicle army at like turn 30, 40. And versus infantry, mandrakes do okay, but like there's no one shot. There's no one shot potential.
Fall off, but witches you can just upscale production, and witches still work. But the thing with witches is it can start to become difficult to track them up, all of them.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's no one easy answer, but like if you wanted to simplify it, go witches.
Yeah, I mean, there's still, even with the True One changes, I think there's still a gaping hole in Drakari's mid game for infantry, as in versus infantry. If you skip witches.
Yeah, but like they're just like the most recent faction, so no unit DLC, like, or rather one. It's just gonna be that way when your
I
roster
mean,
is that shallow.
the only two real options for DLC is the Grotesques and the Reapers, and both of them would be very welcome additions.
Yeah, Reapers could be interesting. They're probably what, range 3 in the
No,
tabletop, or like
I don't
equivalent of.
I don't know, but they're essentially a giant scourge going on a boat.
Okay.
Haywire skimmer. Which would be good for Drakari armor, but I think Grotesques would also be extremely fun.
Wait, do we need like another anti-vehicle vehicle?
Yes.
What for?
Ravages I think.
I mean, Ravagers are
Versus
good,
armor.
but they also fall off hard when you reach tier 7. Like fighting like stuff like Wraith Knights is depressing.
I mean, there's nothing in Drakari roster that can deal with Wraith Knights. Anytime it gets to Wraith Knights, it's just like actually in general. Anytime I see a Wraith Knight, I'm just like, I'm ignoring this and I'm just sniping your base. Like, fuck fighting these things. It's
You
stupid.
know, they should have been nerfed, but that's the curse of high tiers. Like,
Yeah.
for one thing, it's usually the favorite toy of one guy or another who's gonna have a fit in Discord if you try to nerf it. And it's also not seen that often, so there's less incentive to actually.
I know. When I play Tal versus Eldar, it's like I can't contest them early because they can just skip book, and then they don't even need a book, and then by the time I feel strong enough, they're at Wraith Knights.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
like
like
on,
the
on fast
window.
speed, it can be a little bit silly. Yeah.
Even on standard, I find like by the time at like turn 55, turn 60, when I feel like my Tal is coming online, I have about 15 turns before the Wraith Knight comes out.
Yeah, I mean, standard is not that different from fast. It's like about 25% slower, I think.
Mm.
So it's like, okay, it's slower, but it's not a different game. You can still grid. But getting away with like triple book is much harder.
Triple book, it's just
Triple book is the real game.
Is a what?
It's the real game. Like, at least you
It's,
can see different units if you survive.
I mean, it's also usually horribly unbalanced in the sense of low tier units have limitations, so you have to be tactical. You have to combine them to be effective. Higher tier units tend to just be generalists that are good against most.
Yeah, you still have to be tactical. You have to kill important things first,
Sure,
so
sure.
your big guy won't die.
It's still Gladius, but I find it tends to become a little bit simplified at that point compared to early and mid game. So while yeah, it's always
I
good
was
to see
joking,
those
by the way.
units.
Please don't hit me.
Oh, okay.
The-
Nice joke, bro.
There used to be like neat builds that can actually do high tier units in games.
But Tyranny builds.
Yeah, tyranny builds like, you know, like 3 books, 4 books.
Yeah, I mean, why even do books when Aidens give 4 science? That's basically 66% of a book. Just spam Aidens, spam tropes.
Bro, we didn't have venom tropes back then.
Oh yeah, it was just melons. That would be pretty depressing to do back then, yeah. You're right. Toxic speed, okay, now I'm useless for 5 minutes.
But you get more research from enemies.
I was looking at DLC, like the unit list of the DLC, because I forget which ones are which, and some factions are just completely unplayable without DLC.
Which one, for example?
So, I mean, if we're just looking at DLC units, Scions, Biovores,
Damn.
Biovores are a DLC unit, I didn't even know.
Ratlings, Warlocks, Wraiths, Dev Sense, Venom Thropes,
Yeah,
Skitari Rangers, Forge Fiend, Scrapjet,
I mean,
Hive Guards.
Yurga, you used to play back when there was no DLC, right? At the beginning.
Yeah,
How was the experience back then?
I think it was still Gladius. The most insane experience was on the game release when we didn't have like normal turns, only sims.
Yeah,
You, like,
that was funny. Like a short game took 3 hours, a normal game took 4 or 5 hours in a 2 versus 2. That was different times.
Can you imagine going Orc Vehicle without Scrapjets? Or like, yeah,
There,
Admech without Rangers?
there was no orc vehicle. Whether you're gonna spam buggies or what's the plan?
yeah, you just didn't do it. But I mean, like on release, you could throw meltas at infantry.
What?
So that will be a counter to heroes.
I mean,
That sounds ridiculous.
Tau without the gun rig, unplayable.
What without the gun rig?
I mean, all the Tau DLC, like the only useful one is like breaches. I think the gun rig is very underrated. I've been using it a lot.
I mean, you got the tier 8 Varna or whatever you call it.
Oh yeah, well, the Avada, so clutch.
I mean, it's actually a good unit. It's just
It is, but
late.
yeah. I think it's underrated as well. It is an absolute wall.
Yeah, it's a tank. It's a beast.
We're still on sim turns. Like it's the fight.
It's strange, yeah. But that's sometimes just how it is nowadays. They both want to just posture, I guess. They don't feel confident sim offing into this. And
Isn't it like a? Go on.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, isn't it like a particularly Russian thing to call sims as soon as you see it? Because I don't notice this culture at all in my playgroup.
Yeah, I don't know if I were playing, I would call sims off like long before I encounter the enemy.
I know. I hear that it's mostly Russian players who call sims on site, and basically nobody else does it.
I think
I mean,
it comes down to, correct me if I'm wrong, Russian players generally having a more competitive attitude than your average Western player.
yeah,
I mean,
but
this game is chess in a trench coat, right?
I mean, the reason why I would want to turn sims off beforehand is just so that my opponent won't have a peace turn to fall back or regroup when we actually start fighting. So now it looks like the moment someone thinks he is in a bad spot, he will call sims off and regroup or fall back. Like it's you just can't start attacking right now.
Yeah, but I think like we played before sim turns were a thing, so we know we played through a lot of early context scenarios that were quite decisive. I think a lot of players nowadays just started playing and saw sim on cheesing and took it as default. Not that this is the case with these two players.
What's interesting about this is that, the longer Colosseum waits, the worse it gets for him. But this composition is not really fit to destroy all these heavy destroyers.
Yeah, I can get why Jesus is okay with this because he's Necron against SM. He's just gonna outscale him at some point. He just needs to not.
I mean, just look at his army. It's like heavy destroyers. Only.
And it would handle everything here. Like, Razorback's doing 2, ATV's doing 3,
He
Predators
doesn't
need
doing 3
else.
and Kibble.
Yeah, that's like the point. Heavy destroyers counter like any Space Marine unit, aside from maybe scout snipers. So there's like.
I mean, they stand off against some, right? They don't per se counter assault marines, but also, assault marines also kind of suck right-clicking them. So.
The scouts are a very underrated unit. People are like, oh, it does no damage. It's like, yeah, it's range 3. Of course it does little damage, but it's range 3. Like, come on.
Yeah, and they are cheap, and they still get meltas, I think. So
Yeah,
like,
infiltrated melters like that.
Yeah, so we're not that bad. And like especially against infantry heavy infantry compositions like Necrons.
Like, I think at the point that Jesus gets multiple temples up and multiple stalkers in the back of his army, this is gonna become a very hard game for Colosseum to play.
I mean, it's already hard.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
but
already hard primarily because he keeps spamming invader ATVs, which do nothing.
yeah,
What is the best Space Marine counter to heavy destroyers then?
he should have just spent Predators until Dreadnoughts, in my opinion.
And
Well,
what
yeah,
screen of
if-
intercessors?
I don't even think you need a screen of intercessors. Like, they won't do anything. If
I
you,
mean,
if
don't
you are,
It's gone.
if you are going vehicles, you are like forced to play Predators and Dreadnoughts. I think they nerfed Hunters against heavy destroyers because they don't get bonus against jetpack, but I'm not sure right now.
Yeah, but
What?
it's very minor. It's a very minor damage upgrade compared to Predators, in my experience.
Predator's
And,
just more
and you
reliable.
lose the versatility of the Predator, so I personally don't like Hunters that much, but they used to be used a lot back in the day.
Yeah, when they cost 40, they were OP versus Necron.
But they
Pretty
were
much
I've
shutting them down.
I've had experiences where somebody's just spammed hunters against my Tal, and it was surprisingly good. And I was very
Yeah.
depressed that I lost to a bunch of meme units with
They're
my
actually a
head
good,
XP8s.
a very good unit. They're just not meta. But like back in the day when you had more limited factions and more limited rosters, like you used to play like against a Necron a lot, and if you played against a Necron, in most cases you will be facing heavy destroyers. So you just make hunters in a lot of games. But this is not so much the case nowadays, meta-wise.
Yeah, but they also cost 40, so like they were extremely good. Right now, I think you are pretty much forced to use snipers against Necron, which is like
Yeah, could be.
we don't see them researched because they are their normal attack works versus heavy infantry, and they can get melted versus vehicles and monsters.
Yeah, snipers
So-
are a very good call. All snipers tend to do very well against Necron infantry.
Yeah, since all the roster is like heavy infantry or at least like medium with two
Also-
starter units.
Sniper's also very good against Tau. I tried to face an entirely rattling army the other day as Tau. Wouldn't recommend. Very horrible experience.
Yeah, you love to play snipers into Tau because you know you will be seeing some infantry and some drones, so doing snipers
I
into Tau
don't
is
know, yeah.
always safe.
It's fun, like as Tau, it's kind of like how when you fight Eldar, it's like Tau are a very ranged heavy faction, and if you just beat them at the ranged game, they tend to crumble. In the same way that if you can match Eldar mobility, they tend to crumble. I don't know why that is. You'd think you want to do the opposite strategy and just let them be good at what they're good at doing, and then just be good at what you're doing. But I find transports really good versus Eldar. It's because if you take away their mobility advantage, they're not as good, right?
Yeah, and transports are also very good Overwatch soaks. They're not necessarily very sturdy, but you don't mind using them to tank Overwatch because once they deliver the units, they usually lose their value because their right click is usually not that strong.
I really like Devilfish versus Eldar.
And the Devilfish is buffed in the mod, it has +1 movement, so it's a very good unit, actually. It's just that it competes in timing against hammerheads, so it can be hard to squeeze them in.
I don't rate Hammerheads versus Eldar. I'd rather go like fish into Skyray, like a 4-2, 4 Barrack XV8.
Hammerheads are quite okay against Eldar though, in my experience. Although of course if you're playing against infantry, you prefer to transition into Skyray. Because you're gonna be right-clicking warlocks and shit a lot, and you do want to do that with Skyrays. I'm kind of waiting to see Moth so I can go smoke. But I think I'm just gonna go smoke and feed my addiction, and if they call for Moth, just call me and I'll have my headset, so I'll come back.
Yeah, it's important to get your smoke. Otherwise, the addiction will kill you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sitting here with my vape and my stimulants.
Yeah, like I was playing Quasimorph the other day, and in this game, if you get nicotine addiction and don't smoke for too long, you start to get pains and shit. Like it's
I mean, it's
really very bad.
it's a thing. My father used to smoke a lot. He's also used to be a musician, and he stopped after like I don't know 30 years. And his doctor actually told him to not quit all at once because it's too big of a shock for the body if it's so used to nicotine. But I mean,
Underrated drug.
you know, I could not smoke and be fine for quite some time.
Uh-huh.
We are following in his steps in more ways than one. Really a good son, like the best you could get.
Thank
Very
you for
proud of you, Pato.
thank you for the moral lesson, mother.
I mean, it's not a lesson, it was like just get your smoke before we turn Sims off. But yeah, well, I'm not sure why he keeps producing ATVs. Like their upkeep is too high. I think, like, well, I think even predators will be better at this point.
Yeah, ATVs are not the best thing you can do in this situation. I would agree.
I'm the only person in my family who does any kind of substances.
We're back to
I'm
drugs.
the,
Cool, cool.
yeah, obviously. Everything is drugs.
I guess we should be proud of your parents.
Are your parents proud of you, Thentox? Don't answer if you don't want to.
Well, my mum is always proud of me, obviously, because she's mum, right? And I have no idea if my dad is proud of me because I don't talk to him.
A modern person.
Yes.
I would ask Yurga, but I'm scared to do so.
Yeah, you better not ask me weird things. So, well, actually, he has like 5 ATVs camping poor Necrons in the top right corner. If he can actually, like, if he can actually catch them.
Someone turns
That
off. I'm reminded of the Game of Thrones meme with Robert Baratheon dying. He's like, "Give me something for the pain and let me die." I'm just like, "Please turn off Sims right now before I pass out."
Yeah, this entire situation is getting out of hand.
You can just say, "Guys, turn off Sims now. We have to."
You could cut.
Executive decree.
The sexual tension in the air.
The sexual tension between my skull and the heavy destroyer's heavy Gauss cannon.
What your skull specifically?
It's a joke between like the sexual tension between my car and the thick tree on the highway.
I heard the ping. Did they call him off?
Yeah,
They
we called
Okay.
him soft next turn. You have to smoke faster.
I shall do my best.
If he smokes too fast, he's going to be too high to turn Sims off.
I mean, just don't talk, keep inhaling.
Make sure you inhale really, really quickly and hyperventilate.
I'm capable of multitasking. I'm a genius.
Oh.
Did you figure out that inhaling and talking, like, going in different directions?
No, you just need to alternate technique.
Yeah. All right. So what's going on in this game? How many production buildings Jesus has? He has 6 production buildings, 5 cores and 1 temple. Producing a Triarch Stalker right now. And Space Marine has 6 production buildings as well.
3
Yeah.
infantry, 3 armory is interesting. Three infantry just for intercessors seems a bit suspicious.
Yeah. But the worst part is that he is out of requisition, so he has no reason. Well, I guess that's why he called off some turns. He is
Yeah, he's got to
out
start
of
trading.
resources. Yeah, so he has to start fighting.
But man, fighting into that wall of heavy destroyers in the forest, this is not gonna have a happy ending, I think.
I'm
Yeah.
calling it. I'm calling it already.
But he has no choice. Like, that's the problem.
Yeah,
I'm just curious why he has 3 barrack just for intercessors, which aren't doing anything.
Yeah, I mean, if he was transitioning into Devastators, I could maybe understand. The Devastators are okay into heavy destroyers.
I mean, with the snipers, do you really need devastators?
Yeah, I guess not. You're right. You don't.
Like,
Against infantry. I guess they're
yeah.
good for sieging, but you have to get there first. The main issue is the ATVs. If he didn't have an ATV army, he could just poke with predators. He has a lot of influence. He could get orbital scan. I don't know. He would have options if he didn't have a bunch of ATVs that do that.
Well, actually, he can still research orbital scan and orbital bombardment. He has like a huge bank of influence.
Well, he did get Kraken bolts in the meantime, so he does do more to heavy destroyers in cover now, approaching
Maybe
5 damage, but still not the best.
Yeah, maybe he can even reach Bolter Drill. And, well, I don't know why, but Jesus left with Forest. That's
I mean,
funny.
I guess he doesn't know what Colosseum has, and he knows the intercessor is going to take all the Overwatch, and he doesn't want the heavy destroyers to get alphaed.
Yeah, we have the perfect
Yeah.
information, so we can judge
But
efficiently.
what's going Alpha Strike destroyers in the forest? Like, the only unit that could do it is like Dreadnought.
I mean, he has Scarabs and Immortals to buffer
And
the zone.
he's also at minus 20 ore, so he's gonna run out in 2 turns. So the decision to back off is doubly confusing.
Yeah.
I agree. And Colosseum has crashed his requisition economy, so he is also very motivated to fight right now. And he does have 51 upkeep of units that are not gonna be super effective here, but you know, anything could happen.
Yeah,
Oh, Jesus is
50
at
upkeep.
47.
Yeah, using very negative words, Pato. He didn't crash his requisition economy, he maxed out his army.
The requisition economy crashed him.
Like, the way it works in my head, you make some refactories at the beginning of the game to build up a bank of resources, and then you just spend them all to get the army. And like, you just won't get any more. Like, even if you try to build extra refactories now, it takes one refactory to like support 2 or 3 units, so you won't ever build enough refactories to support this production.
How many towers should he have by this turn? He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He probably wants to put his 6th on this Grox in the corner.
Yeah, but that's still 7 turns away, and I think in 7 turns this game could look a little bit different than it does now.
I mean, this all-field tower is going to be such a pain if he loses it. He probably will, because he doesn't have shielding.
Yeah, but on the other hand, considering what Yurga said, he could just accept that this is it. Do or die time.
Oh, depressing given this comp.
Yeah, but that's just the nature of this matchup. I don't think SM into Necron is the best matchup to play.
I mean, like, looking at Jesus' army, you can see that Necron has to build like 1 unit to win. It's heavy destroyers, and this matchup works like this for like ages. The only unit that you're early on that can counter heavy destroyers from Space Marines is like scout snipers. So I think Colosseum just lacks the matchup knowledge. Because ATVs is as like SOP as they are, they like don't seem to trade that well versus heavy destroyers.
Those are quite
Jesus is just
negative words to use. You should probably call it treading new water or something.
I think Jesus is just
Yeah,
sacking
true.
his loyalty relic. He just wants to fight in the middle, take it back later.
In any case, it's still two big armies, so it should be a somewhat fun fight to watch at least. If it's not too painful on the SM side. But Colosseum does tend to surprise. I remember one game, were you there, Thentox? I think you were. I know Tassos was there. It was Colosseum versus
Bulky-Winkle.
Bulky-Winkle, yeah, playing Sisters, and like it looked completely lost for Colosseum. I think he lost 2 cities and 2 full armies, and like Sister was on the doorstep of his main city, and he resettled some shitty spots, and but he just kept on playing. And we were like talking about the other things while they were fighting away at some point. We were like, he has no chance, and he won in the end. Like, admittedly, it took some misplays from Bulky-Winkle, but still.
I was only there for like the last half an hour, and it was I saw it. I was just like, "What the hell am I watching? This is."
I mean, that
And
was.
Bulky-Winkle could have won that if he didn't move that bloody retributor.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like I said, it required quite a bit of mistakes from Bulky-Winkle, but you know, such is the nature of Gladius sometimes. You play for like hours and hours, you're gonna get fatigued. You're gonna get impatient. You're gonna be like, when is this shit gonna end?
That was my strategy during the tournament.
Yeah, how long was your game against Danagar?
120 turns.
Yeah, for how many hours?
5.
Thanks for that, Thentox.
I was playing Skyrays, I had no choice. I was versus Admech, what else was I gonna do?
It's okay. It's a tourney.
Yeah, I mean you won that game, right?
No, no.
Yeah, that sounds right.
It was I got his city, but then you know Admech late game 2 city Night Crusader. What am I supposed to do?
Yeah, but you put up a good fight even in the end. It was
I mean,
a very entertaining game to watch, even if very long.
I was just like into Admech as tower. Skyrays are like the only thing you can do. I don't like building Skyrays. Tau already requires enough like every 10 turns is a timing push as Tau. And with Skyrays it's even more.
Alright, serious question. Why is he having like 9 out of 80 population of like, how is the word, 18?
His ways are beyond mortal comprehension.
Yeah, it's like he's playing the long game, so we might be here for a while. His heavy destroyers aren't in his city tiles.
How did he not crash his ore eco yet, though? Was I missing like some ore being turned off when I was checking it earlier?
He turned off some summoning cores in second city. But like next turn he's gonna be negative for sure.
Yeah, but still, impressive that he didn't crash yet. I mean, it would be more impressive if he didn't crash at all, obviously, but trying to be positive here, use positive words.
I mean,
yes.
It's interesting, like this idea of like trading when your resources are out. Because I was playing Dawn of War this week, and you know I played it a lot as a teenager. But it's like stuff I learned from Gladius translated so much. Just stuff like if you spend resources on early units instead of your economy, you need to do damage to the opponent because like that's your quote unquote power spike. And if you don't do damage in that power window, it was a complete waste of time. And then you get outscaled by a greeter.
Jesus
It
seemed
ju-
to. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, it just puts a smile on my face to hear such wise words. Especially knowing like that the guy learned this from Gladius. The only thing I learned from Gladius is to do like book or and spam tanks.
Well,
Yeah, but
I think it's more just learning like every decision you make has a purpose, right? The purpose is to kill the enemy. And if you are investing in early stuff and you don't do anything with it, well, and the opponent did not do that, then
yeah,
you've lost.
there's just some logic behind that you have to know or figure out, and then it kind of opens up in that sense. But I think Yurga, that you're quite a seasoned player in strategy games, and I think if you play a lot of strategy games over years of playtime, you tend to notice these things because they tend to be common across titles.
Yeah. It's like when I'm playing Tower, once I have like 4 or 5 hammerheads, I'm like, okay, I need to do damage now. If I don't do damage in this window, like I lose.
Yeah, and I think like StarCraft is one game where this was min-maxed and figured out a long time ago, but you know, not
Well,
everyone.
have you seen Dawn of War 1, like Soulstorm games, competitive
Not really.
ones? It's like pretty figured out as well. Like they have min-maxed builds for every matchup.
I mean, the game, honestly, I never really looked at that game because I tried it once. I actually have the titles in my Steam library, I think, but it always seemed a bit simplistic from a very
It's
surface level impression.
I
In the
know
sense of you just there's this empty map and you just like build a bunch of units and you mash them together.
it's not like that.
Yeah, I'm sure it
Like
isn't. That was just my
yeah.
impression.
Sure, I mean that was my impression when but coming back to it from Gladius, I completely looked at it in a different light in the sense that like greeding in Dawn of War is basically eco, so like generators and like power, because like upgrades and teching and vehicles require power, and it's like, do you want to spend your requisition on building a generator or like another low tier unit? And if you don't use that low tier unit to contest the map or like damage the opponent's base, like this is a pointless investment. Like it's just sitting there doing nothing.
Yeah, but like
But
how much impact does like in the big fights does your unit composition and micro management have?
oh, huge.
Huge? Okay.
Yeah.
It's an RTS battle.
I mean, it's like units of what, 10 people?
No, but it's also stuff like
Yeah.
would you like so for example, if you are let's say you're playing Sisters of Battle, it's better. I mean, this applies to multiple different factions, but Sisters of Battle, what you can do is instead of building like 2 squads of Battle Sisters and reinforcing them in the field, you're spending requisition on basically a body like a health bar and a bolter. And what you could do instead is you could get 3 squads and not reinforce them, and then build a sergeant, and the sergeant will give you like an Inferno pistol and each squad gets like a grenade cooldown. So it's sometimes better to have multiple small squads that have like cooldowns or like special weapons than have like a brick of like basic weapons. And that implies that you need to make power because the sergeants and the pistols require power instead of just bodies which require requisition. And it's like all these like different subtleties. And it's like if you're facing heavy infantry, you want more Inferno pistols. Whilst if you're facing Orks, you might just need bolters.
So there's a lot of depth in the unit composition and build
Yeah.
department.
Oh yeah. And Dawn of War 2 is slightly different because you don't have base building. But there's still the idea that like if you spend your resources on your generator farms, you can tech earlier. But if you do that, then you can't defend them, and then your opponent, if he goes tempo heavy, can destroy your generators. I was trying to introduce some Gladius people to Dawn of War 2, and it's been interesting seeing how they think of the game and how after like 3 days the opinion and the understanding of the curve and the tempo is completely different.
Yeah, it was too stressful for me to play, but Damus is quite an accomplished player in it.
Yeah.
And I know that you've been playing some Dawn of War 1 with Jesus and Player 1 and some other people.
Yeah, and Tessens. And we've been swapping between Dawn of War 2 and Dawn of War 1 because they're such different games. But like I've been cast in a few Dawn of War games on like the multiplayer team, and I was talking to Damos about the meta the other day as well.
It's always going to be fun for me to watch Dawn of War 2 casts with people I know from Gladius. Go ahead, Yurga.
I mean,
yeah, so like in the game, in the middle, Colosseum seemed to fall back, and his small raiding party to the south is gonna die. Which puts his upkeep at Necron level, at which point I think this is like pretty sad.
It will improve his economy though. Maybe that was his plan all along.
What's the logic of this spider move? Does he just not want to put it around the top in case there's more troops there?
I think he's just to attack.
Yeah, he's blocking off Razorback and killing his Marines. Like, I think he assumes there's like no other units, so it's safe to just destroy those three.
I mean, he also put the fodder unit, named fodder unit, which is a bit of an information grab unless it's
for waters.
A spy. Or a feint.
So it's a Canadian thing, so I guess it's something more like Fwadders. Like a more silent thing. Not like.
And I think he's just doing cute animation. I don't think it actually is a Canadian thing.
Yeah, maybe I'm looking too deep into this.
I don't think Canada has a general culture of cutie femboy baby speak.
Interesting. Kind of like Japan then.
Yeah.
Well, Jesus seems to be fine with the situation. He's even been farming top. Taking that relic, not a care in the world. He knows his one unit army is very strong. He owns it.
Feels like a fast speed build.
Well, I mean, that's just how the matchup goes. I hope Colosseum figures out the solution to heavy destroyers by the start of the next game.
Yeah, if it's the same matchup. But yeah, I think you need to get a little bit creative and maybe a little bit lucky as the Space Marine.
I mean, Jesus has 15 heavy destroyers. Like, how is he going to kill like 3 of them?
Yeah, I'm surprised how well heavy destroyers do into intercessors in the forest. 5.5. I don't remember them doing that well against assault marines or tacticals, but
that's because they're full model high HP. Oh my god, he disbanded it. Interesting.
Yeah.
Minimize the experience that he gives to the heavy destroyers.
I guess.
Because he would just pick it off with some scarabs or some shit, so the element of stall is irrelevant.
Well, Thentox made it sound like he's a new player, but I think he understands the game better than you, Pato.
I didn't say I was a new player. I mean, I'm relatively new compared to you two, but...
Yeah, but like...
I mean, let's take the bait. Why do you say so?
Because he understands how weapons work in Gladius. He figured when intercessors are so bad versus heavy destroyers, like, in a snap of a finger.
I was just saying my thought process out loud. But sure, that's one aspect. I'll freely admit that's one aspect of the game I never mastered.
Yeah, I mean, like a true entertainer, you gave a chance for the audience to feel smart.
No, I'm just a jazz musician at heart, so I like to wing it.
Same. I think model HP capping I discovered when I was in debug and I put 2 stealth suits against each other, and I removed the range damage reduction. And I was like, But there are 3 guns, and they're powerful. Why are 3 models not dying? And then I worked out about the accuracy thing.
Damn. So it took a debug mode and stealth suits to figure out.
Yeah.
Haven't you shot like guardsmen with your hammerheads?
No, because when I first started playing Tau, I was a bit of a contrarian, and I never built vehicles. And then I had a long conversation with Ratul where he convinced me to start.
5,000 messages to teach you how to play Tau properly, but I guess it was worth it to watch you play Danagar.
Yeah, I mean, how would you use Tau loyalty mechanic without building vehicles? Like you're wasting loyalty by not building vehicle building.
Remember I was playing fast speed, so
yeah,
I went my typical. All right, don't judge. This is a long time ago, but my typical build was essentially like infantry corps with Fireblade and Commander using stealth suits and like 1 ghost kill and just going for Riptides every game.
Well, Riptides are cool.
I mean, I love them, but they're not very good.
They're a bit lacking nowadays, yeah. You missed a lot of power creep, Yurga.
I think you just over-nerfed them or proxy. They used to be very nice, but when their Nova buffs were nerfed.
My favorite strat was using stealth suits with Fireblade. And then I was like, how do I beat Wraiths? I can't. Necron as Tau is unplayable.
Then Wraiths.
I mean, Wraiths are still a nightmare as Tau, but like, you know, Hammerheads make it somewhat.
You're still better off doing a heavy destroyer Praetorian army, in my opinion. Wraiths are nice to have, but inconvenient to get tech-wise if that's what you want.
I don't know, I played a 1v1 versus SSD on standard. Like, I was obviously turtling versus Necron, and it was just like 15 Wraiths in my base, there's nothing I can do about it. And I had a box formation base and everything. I was just
yeah, sounds
horrible.
legit. Like they move through everything. If he gets more units than you, then it's just over.
Yeah, it's like they just take an XV8 model off. Suddenly, I just can't get the hexes to kill them. Hammerheads don't do that much to them. And
I think they also don't do that well against hammerheads, right?
Hammerheads are the only real unit you can trade with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although weirdly, I think stealth suits trade weirdly well into them.
No, and I guess it depends on who hits first.
I mean, if you put the counterfire on stealth suits, they hit fucking hard. Especially because you're not going to get the alpha strike against Wraith, so you may as well just sit there and let them walk into boosted Overwatch.
What's counterfire? Like Fireblade ability that doubles?
No, counterfire is the... If you don't go vehicle, tier 6 is very empty, and you can go stealth suit and counterfire, and counterfire is the support system that gives 2 accuracy to Overwatch.
Alright. Yeah. Alright, well, yeah, it's like the relatively low tier support system.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, sounds fun. I guess you won't use Fireblade or Ethereal against Raze.
I mean, I used to always use Fireblade, Volleyfire in all my builds, and now I kind of only use it with broadsides. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, against Raze, we will just fly over and kill your heroes. It sucks.
Actually, the solution to that is to screen your Fireblade with builder drones. It always works.
No, that's like high level strats.
Although currently my favorite Tau build is actually, sorry, we should probably focus on the game given they're fighting right now.
I mean, we can call it fighting, but the stars and the forest.
I mean, the Scarabs are not going to be an issue because of the... I mean, I think Tactical Marines grenades probably one-shot them in the open already. Intercessor grenades are just going to absolutely murder them. And he does have both.
I mean, if we try to frame it positively, we could say that heavy destroyers provide a very target-rich environment. Are provided.
Yeah, because there are a lot of very threatening targets. Obviously.
But I mean, do we really have like 2 models? Not much targets. Well, now that's a good target. Maybe this game can even be turned around with turns like that. Though most of them are still in the forest. So I'm not sure.
Scarab hitting for 2.4 against a shielded tower is funny. Entropic Strike is just Gauss for melee, right? It does the same thing.
It's pretty much the same thing.
Man, Scarabs are such a good unit to have. Like
I hate them so much.
They don't
I hate
carry
them.
gains, but they're such a nice unit to have in your roster.
They're worth it just for the map control. It is so difficult to catch.
Yeah.
And even when you kill them, when you kill one, it's just like, you know, if I'm spending an XV8 to like chase a bloody Scarab down, it's like, okay, cool. This is a very expensive unit to kill a Scarab, and then there's just another Scarab. And you can't catch them. It's just... Boom. Boom.
I mean, it
Well-
is a little bit awkward to fight for the heavy destroyers right here as well. So I think that's a saving grace for Colosseum right now. Not that I think he'll actually chew through this and break through, but
I think he's losing like 3 to 4 units next turn at best. And at worst he loses like half his army. Those guys in the open in the top are like...
This Predator
Gladius.
can't see anything, right?
oof, that was a ballsy move.
This Predator doesn't have Overwatch line or anything, right? Maybe like here? I don't think it can see this.
No, that
Yeah.
Predator isn't gonna be doing anything this turn, I think.
But in terms of Overwatch, oh my god. Oh
Oh.
no. This is not looking good, this Overwatch damage.
Yeah, it is not. I take it back. I think it was like maybe holdable, but
I honestly wouldn't be
I mean,
surprised if it
what-
was GG.
What do you mean by holdable? You can't afford to
in
hold. He's like...
not lose outright, make him
Yeah, I
pay
mean-
for the tower, I guess.
But
I don't
like
know.
just by skipping turns he is losing.
I'm trying to be positive, god damn it.
It's like, there is a limit on the positivity you can like at this point. Well,
Oh,
I
we can't
guess
finish
we-
this ATV. That's funny.
yeah, I mean like with turns like this, he like
That's flirtatious for Colosseum. Maybe he's got this.
yeah, like that heavy destroyer could have killed something. To the
No, but
left of
he
him.
wants to zone the escape route.
I mean, it's Colosseum. I'm not gonna count him out until I see him concede.
Like, have you seen his city?
I have. But that doesn't mean we'll be done with this game anytime soon. Trust me.
Oh,
But I do think I agree with you. I think this looks bad for him. So, maybe not.
I mean, he can just shovel his heavy destroyers in, like, because he knows he has, because he's in the open, he has range advantage, right? Because Colosseum's in deep cover.
Yeah, I think
you
it's
know
just,
what?
just gonna be
I
all
think
over.
I think he can just hover over any of Colosseum units and see that he has no requisition. So anything he kills won't be rebuilt.
Yeah, okay. When you see that your opponent is out of resources, like, what do you take from that? Do you think that's an opportunity to fight, or because if I see somebody's out of resources, I could quite easily say, okay, well, he's out of resources, so he wants to trade. If I don't let him trade and I just turtle more, then he's kind of losing out.
I just think this is a game that was lost on the drawing board, honestly. Even if Colosseum got a good spawn, got perfect towers, and produced this army, like, in more favorable terrain, he would still have a very hard time winning.
Yeah, absolutely. Unit composition like that just won't counter heavy destroyers. Maybe predators could like tickle them from range 3, but
It's 5 damage. It's more than tickle.
I think Predators into Dreadnoughts was the play here, the best chance that he had. And you can get Dreads like pretty early. They're tier 5, I believe.
I mean, if he started with the book,
I mean, I've done the Beetlejuice build with no books a number of times, and you make 4 or 5 Predators, and then once you get them, once you unlock them, and then you already have Dreads because it's just
yeah, but before
protection away.
Predators, what are you going to do with your
Yeah,
armories?
that's the
Scout
issue.
bikers?
Scout bikes, I guess. Because
But you will have.
ATVs just don't seem to perform here.
But well, Scout bikers will have the same problem. By like melt on the heavy destroyers as well. I think if you are really aiming for dreadnoughts, you will have to start with the book just to like get to them earlier. Because all those bikers you produce while waiting for predators and dreadnoughts just
Yeah,
won't do anything.
it's an issue. You're right. It's not a good. It's not good odds from the outset, yeah, because you have a bunch of not really effective units. So it's not really a build you want to do in a matchup like this. But as we noted, like earlier in the game, infantry is also not the most optimal option.
Yeah, sure. Like, well, pretty much the whole faction like is not optimal option.
I think like some kind of scout play would be best. Maybe like 2 Apothecarians of scouts, and then into armories for some predators and dreads. I don't know. If
Problem
you
with the
want to do
Predator is
a
that
no book. Go ahead.
the problem with the Predator is that the heavy destroyer trades extremely well. It does like twice the damage and it's cheaper, so you need to stop it from pushing in. When you cut over range 3,
It's
you
more
need
about
something on the front.
predators start to perform really well once some morale is gone, because they can do it at range 3, and if they're base to base, it can take like 2 shots and a finisher, or even no finisher, to finish off heavy destroyers. But of course, if those heavy destroyers are in the open, they're not gonna perform well, and especially not if you have to start it off with predators. But like considering the range 3, they can be very convenient to have fighting heavy destroyers. But yeah, you probably prefer to go for something else, theoretically, in the matchup.
Jesus sees that he's on the retreat, and he's like, I can't even see the Predators. Interesting.
Yeah, I think Colosseum is gonna back off and meet him again at the second line of towers, knowing that he's quite the tenacious player. But yeah, losing all those ATVs, all those intercessors, not looking good. Even all the Ovas are not gonna help him. You cannot kill an opponent with cuteness, unfortunately.
Down.
At least Ovas aren't killing the mood.
True. They passed the vibe check.
Colosseum might be running out of power quite soon as well. 6 turns, and he would need to build a power building. He might just make it, but...
And it's 50 upkeep for Necron against 29 for Space Marine. How do you like them odds?
Never tell me the odds.
At least we're seeing a Triarch Stalker.
Oh, have you never seen it, like, the modded version play?
Yeah, I don't think I have seen the modded version.
The
like
damage is
range 3.
disgusting. The damage is crazy.
It's too good, honestly. But taking this toy away from Necron would cause a calamity of epic proportions right now.
Is it COD mod or just Major's Director's Cut where the buff doesn't apply to itself? Or the nerf or the debuff or whatever?
I think it's the Director's Cut. It's a different version. You've been playing that mod?
No, I haven't been playing Gladius full stop for the last couple of weeks, but I kind of want to try it out because I'm most curious to see if the tile build of opening production in both your expos, given that the drone is faster, whether you choke on ore and whether you kind of need ore buy in every build now. It's just because you settle quicker. Also curious to see how these ectoplasm forge fiends work.
Yeah, I've been meaning to try it out, but have to get some people to try it out with first.
I know, I think it'd be great if everybody just used Director's Cut and Majors just quietly did the updates by himself and then had a few people to discuss with, and then we all just collectively agreed to just use that one.
Yeah, I think that's the better alternative as well, right now.
Shadow Council's not always a bad thing.
It does seem that Colosseum is intent on licking his wounds and trying again, but his plan has one major flaw. He's
The
not
towers.
producing any units. So,
Well, he could start producing one next turn.
Let's go.
well, but I don't think Jesus will waste a lot of time taking down those towers, gobbling up those outposts.
Triple loyalty city Necron is scary. With the recap, he's at 0 loyalty.
Yeah, his eco is well established now. He has the pops up. He can rapid rise whatever he needs to add more production now. So this is the point where Necron gets really scary and becomes really hard to compete for the Space Marine, even in more optimal conditions. But like I said, I do not want to do a repeat performance, because versus Bulky, we were all over. We were dooming all over Colosseum, and he won in the end. So
Sure, but I feel like this game is a bit more one-sided. He just doesn't have an answer to all these heavy destroyers.
Yeah, it gets
The main problem will be getting around these towers around the base and the line of sight in the terrain.
Yeah, Pat, I bet Bulky just had one too many during the game.
he's like that.
Yeah, he needs to power up.
You're such a gossip girl.
Yes, I am. Have you seen me on the server when I was active? I will talk non-stop.
Yurga, didn't you say you wanted to take over the mod?
No,
was I reading something else?
Yeah, I think you were reading something else. I'm not taking over any mods, I have mine.
You have your own one?
Yeah, I have a couple of my own mods.
Well,
We are
Black
we are
Dome.
not the balanced one.
What's it called? What's it called? Yurga's mod?
Something like that. The first one is scouting device and the second one is domination device.
Do you have a balance mod?
No, I don't have public balance mods.
But everyone should have a balance mod.
Yeah, I mean, I have a
Reduce
couple of
tiny,
drafts, but they are too like ridiculous for other people to play.
reduce tiny world size. Hell yeah.
Yeah, just tiny world sizes.
We
Pretty
did
insane.
we did a tiny map 5v5 a few months ago, and everybody was fighting with their starting units, and one of the cultists just turned into a demon prince, and we're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I think like 5v5 on a tiny map will like just be no place to spawn.
Oh, everybody picked SM, and they were like one Necron, one Chaos, and the Chaos got a demon prince, and it was like just GG after that.
Man, you would have what, 2 outposts if you were lucky.
Well, it was just somebody was just forced to go triple hero SM, right? Every outpost on the map was towered.
Oh yeah, the
It's
SM would eventually steal everything.
there was
SM
no
best faction.
nobody could push anything because it was like every avenue of attack was just zoned by towers.
I mean, towers are not particularly scary at a certain point, except if you get the bolters, then they become relatively decent. It takes what, 7 heavy destroyers to take down a tower. It's basically a piece of cake at this point. Yeah, SM is unique in this aspect that with other factions you just settle those free cities in a cluster and that's what you need to protect. With the SM you can get unlucky with the map generation and then you have to like protect towers all over the place. So it's very important to control the game as SM for this reason.
Why is he pushing out? Surely he wants to fight in the city and use the range advantage of not. If he's in the city, he has multiple different like attack angles, and they're both in deep cover right now.
I mean, I guess he wants to be proactive because he sees a lot of HD taking down his towers south and north. Judges this to be his best chance at the moment, and it does make some sense. Because like the city attack would not be super useful here. The terrain is a little bit awkward. Sure, he could use the city tiles, but I guess he opted to take his chances instead. And I support this course of action myself. It gets us closer to the third game.
Well, my strategy would be to feign gameplay while typing balance run in the chat.
Wish I could do that.
Because clearly this matchup is not balanced. Just look at Jesus' army. He's spamming heavy destroyers all game, and
I mean,
Space Marines can't do anything about it.
Necron is in the hands of a skilled player who knows what's what. Is pretty overpowered, but there's a lot of Necron lobbyists preventing true change. Welcome back, Yurga.
Yeah, like imagine someone telling you you have to be a skilled player to build a single unit.
I mean, when you look at the average player nowadays, you'll see what I mean. Get back to me.
We just don't know. We just don't know we can build a single unit.
I
We
mean,
need more real guides.
Heavy Destroyer can't kill a lemon, ergo Heavy Destroyer bad unit.
What do you mean we can't kill a lemon? Like, what are you going to kill lemons with if not with heavy destroyers?
They do run into tile issues if the lemon ball is played well. As in, actually taking down a lemon can be hard, then he just retreats behind the ball, heals it up, shield generators, etc. Lemons are quite defining for some people's balanced opinions.
In the shield generator territory. Well, I mean,
listen, talk to those guys, not to me. I kinda had it with this. I've been doing this for some time and I'm tired, boss.
Yeah, hello, boss. I'm tired, boss.
No, it's all in good humor, of course.
Yeah, I mean, Lemon Rastas with shield generators are pretty good units.
Oh, like we're seeing a Thunderstrike. Nice. Oh yeah, if you're not familiar with Primaris, the Thunderstrike, oh my god. What an absolute horrible unit on release.
I mean, it's horrible.
Like just completely broken. I think even now in its nerfed state, it does like 20 damage to a hammerhead from range 2.
It's tier 6 now. Originally it was tier 4, I believe.
Oh. What? That sounds fair. And I can hear Tau player crying about something, hitting hammerhead for 20 damage.
I mean, as a Tau player, I'm crying about everything all the time.
I mean,
what are you talking about?
The main power creep of the game is in how much damage it does to your shit. Like, it didn't used to be like that back in the game, like receiving 25 damage to your fucking Predator from some, I don't know, Catapult Destroyers or some shit.
Nope. Catapult Destroyers is a fun unit. Do we still like one-shot everything?
Yeah, pretty much.
We nerfed it, but it's still, like, when you stack the buffs on it, it's still pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
But you know, the players nowadays weren't around back in the day when it actually took more actions to kill stuff, which was positive, if you ask me. It increased tactical depth as opposed to like 1 and 2 shotting everything. But you know, it is what it is. I do think like the mod is okay, with some exceptions. Like we are probably looking at one of those, like SM versus Necron, very hard matchup for the SM.
Yeah, it dominates the balance discussions.
What do you mean?
I'm joking.
I would like to get the joke as well.
And I wouldn't read into it too much. It was a mediocre attempt.
Okay, sure, no worries.
Yeah, you just need to dig out balance discussions like from a year ago. I bet it will be full of Necron.
I was looking at because when Magos linked the AdMech dysfunctional greed build or whatever, when we were trashing the turn 100 Tau greed player or whatever, some of the old links I looked at, and I was looking at some of the discussions from like 2 years ago. It's just very funny, like how people viewed the game back then. Like Jonathan being like, "When do you build loyalty?"
Yeah, it took quite a lot of Discord typing to get you guys.
Yeah, I mean, like when you have to build loyalty, that's like a very like common and important question. I think I seen one like in Russian channel on Proxy Discord like a couple days ago, and someone even explained to the guy that you can literally like use math to figure it out.
So when should you build loyalty, Yurga?
I mean, in my builds, never.
I just don't like playing factions where you have to build loyalty. Every time I have to build loyalty, it just feels so shit.
I mean, do you like really have to build loyalty? You need like what? I think you need like 6+ pop city for it to make any sense. If you're in the negative.
I mean, I mostly play Jakari, Sisters, and Tau, and I don't really like building loyalty in any of them.
The main thing that becomes punishing the negative loyalty is the production malice at one point when it becomes too big. So I think like at around -10, -11, it does start to make sense.
I still think it's about like total production of your city, like total output.
Yeah, I mean, if you get more from an additional Rex, you do the Rex. If you're not building pop.
I mean, obviously you build loyalty on Tau when you have 3 Arsenal and 1 City, and your third vehicle building is giving you 2 cogs. Like, obviously you build loyalty then, right?
Peak Tau.
Your building is giving you 2 cogs, that's like... That sounds sketchy.
I'm joking. It's just I see some Tau people. I saw somebody who built 3 barracks in 1 city and then 3 influence buildings in the same city. And I was like, I just wanted to cry. I was like, why are you doing this to yourself?
I mean, that's an imposter, it's not a Tau.
I mean, do you remember the discussions we used to have like a year ago? It was basically me telling you like, you're playing the game all wrong, this is what you should do, and you were like, man, you don't know shit.
who ended up being correct?
I mean, I think you guys learned a lot of things you didn't used to know over the course of the last year, so that's good. Since we can have more entertaining games now.
What was the main error you saw in the play group in the last like half a year?
Tactical moves. Like you guys figured out some, let's say, decent builds at least. Like almost everyone figures out a decent build relatively quickly. But like the tactical moves of some people are like still horrible. But some
Or
people learned.
Just throwing stuff into the fire pit too easily.
Yeah, just like, you know, walking an ATV into triple heavy destroyer Overwatch, stuff like that, you know, stuff that's really
like
not
in
that
this
hard
game.
to predict. No, I wasn't taking a poke at Colosseum, honestly, but it's just what sprang to mind. But you know, stuff that's not that hard to predict if you like use your brain, or like I guess have some experience, but mainly use your brain. Like, where are the enemy units? Where would I put them? What would make sense? Like,
Yeah. And if you're playing Space Marine, you can actually use your tier 1 ability to scout before poking.
With the orbital scan, I either see people never using it or just using it every turn. Like I see people using it like 5 times before Sims just to find out where the base is. And like that is an absurd amount of influence to find a base which you're gonna find just through fighting anyway. Like use it when you want it. Like I hate it when I'm playing Trikai when somebody scans me. But like other than that, like
I mean, of course you would hate it with Drukari stroking your blades in the forest.
well, it's like when I'm fighting Astra, and I'm like I kind of want to get the Scout Sentinels off the field as soon as possible because Scout Sentinel walks into the forest, scans me, my Raider gets killed by 6 Basilisks, and I lose like 4 witches.
Damn.
I'll never forgive Lager for his
stuff?
crimes.
That sounds horrible, like getting your Raider killed by Basilisks. Will not want to experience that.
so the noose is tightening around Colosseum's neck. I think soon every tower will be down. The units from the city tiles are starting to get taken down, and it looks like a last stand, more or less. Colosseum refusing to acknowledge defeat until.
Yeah, I think he's
defeated.
just taking his time to figure out the solution to this build.
Yeah, and also seeing what Jesus' build is. Although I doubt he will want to repeat this matchup in the last game.
Yeah, so I wanted to ask, like, did we do the same draft both times? Can you like tell us about it?
So both times
I
they.
think.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I think I missed it, or like it was.
Jesus banned Sisters both times, and Colosseum banned Orks both times. And I think they picked the same factions both times.
Yeah, so it was like the same both times. I got it.
So SM and Necron for Colosseum, and Necron and Eldar for Jesus. So we might see Colosseum play Necron, or go for something else entirely, but I doubt we'll see SM getting picked again. I would be traumatized if I was him right now.
Colosseum loves banning Orks, and Jesus loves banning Sisters.
Yeah, well, this game definitely looked pretty sad for Space Marines, but at least we can see that the units he tried out this time, like, they just don't work versus heavy destroyers.
I just don't know why he didn't switch to back-tech scouts as soon as he saw this.
Yeah, it's just it's more important to look at why doesn't it work, because ATVs just don't work against high armor. They're designed counter low armor infantry, and heavy destroyers are definitely not low armor infantry. I think.
I mean, it does work when you have a Thunderstrike.
I think the assessment of the scouts being a very good option here was good. Like with scouts, he had a game to play. If those ATVs were scouts.
Well, like scouts is the only unit that makes sense in this situation. What, like Thentox mentioned earlier, imagine playing this game before scouts came out.
Yeah.
Like,
but people sucked back then, mostly. So maybe it was
Well,
more doable.
I think I'm not sure. I think it like once hunters were nerfed against heavy destroyers, it was like Necron spams heavy destroyers and the Sam can do anything. And before that, when heavy destroyers or when hunters were 40 cost and their trade worked better against heavy destroyers, it was like the other way around. Space
But
Marines just spammed hunters and laughed at Necrons.
yeah,
Were
it's
hunters nerfed?
they were
Yeah, they were nerfed pretty heavily.
cost increase, I believe.
Yeah, it was cost increase, and I think like jetpack infantry rework actually nerfed them too.
It still has Skyfire.
Yeah, I mean it would be a better unit than the Predators, like snipers and scouts into this. Scouts and hunters. Sorry. Because I don't know what kind of damage exactly we're looking from a hunter, but probably on yellow morale it starts to become close to a 2-shot in the open.
Yeah, it looks like Skyfire still works on jetpack, but like their their bonus accuracy from adjacent hunters doesn't work against jetpack infantry, only against flyers and skimmers.
I see.
Really?
And
I
that
mean,
appears to be like for accuracy, like 50% increase.
maybe hunters should eventually be buffed then. Although, I mean, I do remember, I'm starting to remember some games from the past where, and hunters, correct me if I'm wrong, but hunters used to be quite a norm because they really were very good when they were
Yeah.
cheaper than a predator.
Yeah, they had like defensive stats like the Predator, but cheaper, and against skimmers they were just absolutely bonkers. Like they were better than Predators against skimmers, cheaper, and with like the same defensive stats. At some point, Space Marines were spamming hunters like frontline, even for their normal infantry.
Yeah,
Like,
and
it's ridiculous.
I think the nerf came around the time that Tau was the latest faction DLC. So hunters were very good meta-wise because, you know, you could use them against Necrons, you could use them against Tau, and you had what, like a total of 6 factions in the game, so that was a high percentage of team games.
Wasn't Tau like really OP on release? Didn't they nerf them?
I don't know about the initial nerfs. I started playing a little bit after Tau came out. I heard that they were, but I'm not sure. But I do know that they were considered OP by many, yes. Mostly because of the drones, I believe.
Yeah, because of drones and because Skyrays and Hammerheads, I think, were like swapped in the tech tree.
Tier 5 Skyray.
Yeah, so you will get Skyrays before Hammerheads, and it well, you will just get a lot of Skyrays and wipe enemy army with rockets.
And I know that at least in Ard mod, people started doing the strategy of spamming Skyrays and then just getting marker drones and sniping cities from range 4.
I mean, that's still a thing nowadays.
And avoiding fights. Yeah, but it used to be like really heavily abused to the point of people playing it in most games.
And I still feel like it's kind of as much as I don't like doing it, I find oftentimes Tau just can't trade in kind of mid to mid late game, and you kind of just have to do the burst city snipe and trade your army for it.
It's the power creep and the unit DLCs. Everyone has options to deal with XV8. Everyone has options to deal with hammerheads nowadays. At least in my opinion.
I agree with it.
So they do. That's why we've been mostly buffing them in the mod, and quite a lot actually. Like it's small buffs, but it's a number of them.
We need more.
Yeah, we do need more.
It's not looking good, bro.
But you know, the future of the mod is uncertain right now, so whatever, we can wait. It's
I'm
okay.
just on hiatus until the dust clears. I'm not sure. Like, are people? Most of the people I play with a lot are playing Dawn of War with me, so I don't know how many people are still playing currently.
All the people that are not super active in the Discord, there's a lot of them still playing. But yeah, your playbook has been a little bit more absent lately. But that's the nature of Gladius. Sorry, go
The
ahead.
Asian the Chinese group suddenly disappeared as well. I think like they used to play together and then they ventured into our play group, and I think people got very mean about their constant greeting and then they stopped playing with us. Like I haven't seen Lily play in a while. People, myself included, kept shouting at him for just having no army until turn 45.
Yeah, but you know, gaming is a saturated market, and that's just how it is. People get a little bit burned out, or maybe they come across other games that are interesting
Not
to them.
letting people greet on team games. That's a crime. That's a crime.
What is?
Not letting people greet in team games. Just let them have their T7 OP units.
I mean, it gets really old to lose to that, so you start rushing people.
But like, I think I think people moving to standard speed more kind of helped that. I think people are still bitching about standard a lot, but I when I first started playing standard, I hated it, and then I kind of it grew on me a little bit.
It's a little bit more accepted, but far from being used or played.
I know. I played fast for the first time in like months the other day, and I was just like, I feel like I'm in kindergarten. It's like I just don't feel like I have to think very much.
You
I just right click.
you should try out the probably obsolete Origins mod. That was basically hardcore Gladius, to my perception. That was my impression of it.
What did it do?
Bonuses from terrain were halved, and from outposts as well, I believe. Rocks were removed as a feature from the game.
Oh, that's annoying.
Managing an economy was different. You couldn't get away with as much. You had to be much more. At least I had to be much more frugal and careful about my economy because I didn't play that mod a lot.
I like having smaller armies. It's more fun. You kind of connect to it more, and you have to think about it.
Emotional connection to your Gladius army.
Yeah, as it gets fucking destroyed by DLC units.
Yeah, I mean, when your units get double tapped by something before it can even shoot.
Yeah.
I have to talk to my therapist about it.
The city goes down, and it's officially a GG.
1016.
Well, we still have game 3. I hope.
Looks like that will be it for now. So we're at
Right.
1-1, one very easy win by Colosseum, and one a little bit more hard one, but not that much, honestly, from Jesus. So we will be looking at the last game to decide who goes into finals to face Damas and who goes into the third place match to face Exorcist. Thank you for watching. Do you want to say any closing words before I stop recording?
Yeah.
Necron AP, please no.
Yeah, I would actually like to mention that I would lose this game just to don't play with Damas.
What? I didn't get it. Sorry.
Like, I will not want to play with Damas. He's too good.
Yeah, and he goes for the throat. He just plays CSM, makes a lord, and rushes with Zerkers and some rhinos. It's brutal. Like the
Yeah,
strongest
he even
strat.
he even builds Noctilith crowns. Like, that's insane. The guy just abuses every broken mechanic.
Yeah,
How are you supposed to hold that? I don't know.
abuse broken mechanics yourself.
Yeah, you should just stealth nerf House City cost, so he won't be able to spam units so fast.
Yeah. We'll see. maybe Jesus, if Jesus advances to the finals, maybe he can come up with something. He can be quite a creative player. Because honestly, my money is on Jesus for the third match. I think it's okay to place bets. Is it? Or am I being
Gambler.
or am I being
Yeah,
unprofessional?
I mean, you're already smoking. Like,
That's so
maybe,
unprofessional.
yeah, maybe you should like hold off some of those like bad habits. Smoking is enough for now. You're like still young.
Yes, mother. Are those your closing words for this video?
Yeah, I mean, like,
So don't smoke, guys.
yeah, don't smoke and don't like play with Demos CSM.
All right, I'm gonna close it off here. See you next time.
Thank you for hosting the game, Pato.